The Ancient Magus Bride is shaping up to be one of the best shows of fall 2017. That may seem like an odd thing to say considering we're still in the summer season, but a 3-part prequel anime has been airing which has given me a decent idea of what to expect from the main series when it comes out. The first 3 episodes of the anime have been shown at selected theatres in the US and Canada, but since I live in the UK, the OVA is all I can talk about, and oh boy, I have a lot to say about this one. Like Made in Abyss, the first episode of this show absolutely blew me away. While the overarching story isn't known to an anime only like me, the art, soundtrack, all these components of the show were excellently done, which is exactly what I'd expect from the studio behind Attack on Titan and Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. The very first scene establishes the kind of setting we're dealing with, having magic present in a quaint early 20th century world, which is used to great effect. With a lot of fantasy shows nowadays, magic doesn't elicit the same wonder that it used to due to how commonplace it is, but the contrast between our world and something completely different allows even the most basic of spells when executed correctly to be breathtaking. The first character we are introduced to, Angelica, compacts materials into a drop of water, and while not as flashy as some huge explosion, the orchestral build-up rising in volume and instrumentation being perfectly in sync with the visuals made me far more enthralled by this spell than I should have been. This is all done very tastefully, continuing as magical beings are seen throughout the main character's household. Throwing in a lot of fantasy elements at once would lessen the impact, and having these oddities appear throughout the first episode with no explanation made them stand out a lot more, helped by the otherwise normal world presented to me. Having these warm colours and the homely setting presented with a soundtrack that accentuated the rustic feeling made the world building great to take in. All this, however, is only one half of what the prequel offers us, with the latter half being focused on the main character Hatori Chise's backstory. To summarise what I know about this show, it focuses on a sorcerer and his apprentice who's had quite a rough past. Her parents are dead and she's stuck into a family that don't want her, as well as being able to see horrific monsters. They're not scary per se, but they are unsettling, and having a quite childish nature to their appearance plays well into the fact that we're dealing with the fears of a young girl. Eventually, she comes across a library of the forest and finally has a place to belong. This is reinforced throughout the second episode as we see her being increasingly unwelcome at home and spending more time at the library, and for the most part continues the relaxing atmosphere with some gorgeous stills before taking a turn at the end. A lot of this is build up, getting us to understand the character's circumstance, and I'm certain we're going to have a fantastic relationship between her and Elias. He certainly isn't the centre focus, but the clues to his part of the dynamic are there. His appearance, for example, is simultaneously scary and elegant, and frequent close-ups show that there's a quite human-like expression to him, despite what may initially seem. Not only that, but when bearing in mind Chise explaining why they're having an abundance of tomato dishes and his trust in her words of diligence when cleaning the study, it would seem like he's lacking in some aspects, essentially getting confirmation when he says that Chise is his human teacher. Two characters with their own flaws learning from each other isn't anything new, but these 2 episodes have been very well presented. If the main series has the same fantastic soundtrack and artwork while expanding on the characters, I have no doubt this will be one of the best shows of the year.